An entertainment lawyer, Oluyemisi Falaye, has actually come out to say, you know what? Wizkid's 2011 and 2014 album still gives 80% royalties to Banky W, that is Empire Music, and a lot of people were surprised at that. Many people were in the comment section actually blasting out Banky and saying a lot of things. She said this at a recent interview, and a lot of people can really understand that from a different point of view. So now my own take about this. I want you to listen to her before I put in my voice.
Let me bust your head. Wizkid was signed to EME, Empire Mates, I forget, Entertainment, owned by
What's his name again?
Banky W,
Banky W,
and
yes.
Tunde Demure years back. Do you know that up till now, those guys earn 80% of Wizkid's first two
Old albums.
Many people were saying a lot of things and then, bashing out a person of Banky and saying that these guys are really greedy. But let's look at it. Nobody decided to invest in you. You know what it takes for you to promote a song, to promote an artist in Nigeria so that that artist can become one of the best in Nigeria? We are talking about $250,000 per song. That is at least 100 million naira to promote one song. Let's say the artist get 10 songs. They spend almost $1 billion naira. So now nobody will actually give out that money when he does not have guarantee of getting that money times 20, times 50. That is something you need to actually understand about that. Even your own parents, they're not going to sell their only property, invest that money on you, believing that you will succeed. So, when you find a record executive doing that, they are trying to secure themselves because they need more money to sign more people also. That is something you got to understand. So when a lot of people went into the comment section and said a lot of bashing things about the lives of Banky and others, I felt that, yes, these guys, you are not being fair to the record executive because these guys, they take chances. Imagine after investing the money on you, you're not going to blow or something can happen. They don't lose their money. They will be the one to pay for the money. And it happens most of the times. Let's check the case of Dagreen. Dagreen actually lost his life at his prime of his career. We got a lot of cases out there. Some people, they go run mad at the prime of their career. So they're not going to recoup that money for their the person will invest time on them. So let us not be just unfair. But although a lot of record executive becomes too desperate at the time, that is something I kind of understand about that. And she made mention of Olamide and Asake, where Asake, Olamide gave Asake a contract to go and study, and Asake was desperate enough to sign a contract with Olamide without studying the contract. And that the contract had a lot of clauses that gave Olamide a lot of treaty over him. So, but if to say Asake not signed with Olamide, you should understand that we for not hear Asake. Because at that time, a lot of people were not ready. A lot of music executives at the levels of Olamide, Don Jazzy, and the rest, they were not ready to really sign up for Asake. That is something you need to understand. So today, they don't part ways and a lot of things, and a lot of people are saying many things around it. So let us not be unfair to this music executive. Somebody invest over 500 million naira on you. You don't know your papa, you don't know your mama. The person not know whether you go flop at the end of the day. And then you are becoming desperate to say that this guy too wicked. After you invest this thing, you want to claim everything. It not easy for them. Most of them go as far as, like taking loans from banks to invest on you. That is something you need to understand. It's not a charity organization. Music is business. That is something you got to understand about that. I'm not trying to exonerate some desperate, kind of music executive that are too wicked. I'm not trying to exonerate them, but I'm trying to let you understand that, whether you like it or not, we need to give them accolades. We need to give them props because of, first of all, deciding, believing that, okay, we are going to invest in this guy and he's going to get the money back. That is something I want to say about that. But a lot of people are seeing otherwise and saying a lot of things and saying that these music executives, they are really desperate. And one person even challenged me and said, if Wizkid had not signed to Empire Music, Wizkid got a lot of people that wanted to sign him. So I said, give me one name and then evidence that they wanted to sign him. The only person that actually wanted to sign Wizkid at that time was Emma Abaga. That is under maybe Chalk Boys. Wizkid for day Chalk Boys. And Wizkid for day the same level as maybe a Black Bones and a lot of others. That is something you got to understand because Chalk Boys at that time, they were dealing more of rap artists, and the only singer among them was Brimo. That is something you guys need to understand about that. So everything played out for Wizkid, and Wizkid left Empire Music, without much, and then started out as Wizkid because already you don't get the visibility, the name, and the superstar level. So that was what Wizkid needed at the time. It's just a sacrifice. So that is something you guys need to understand at the time. Somebody invested in you and then promoted you to a level, and the person needs to get money back. But do you understand that when you leave most music record label executive, sometimes most artists know they succeed. Oh. That is something you got to understand because it takes more than music, more than money to actually run a music record label because these guys are emotionally sensitive to an extent. They understand what the market needs and is a risk for them. That is why I said music is business, and you got to understand it from that point of view. Guys, what is your own take about all of this? Do you feel that music executives out there, they are really desperate? I want you to put your own comment in the comment section so that we can have a glimpse at what you feel. But to me, I feel that then take risk. So you got to give them benefit of really getting their risk reward back. That is something I feel. Getting their money back, that is something, and they have to get it because it is business. They invested on you and they got to get their profit, and most times the margin is high to an extent. So if you feel offended because they hand you a contract, if you don't want to sign, you just say, I don't want to sign a contract. I listened to a story, narrated by somebody on Jay-Z, and some parts being spoken by Jay-Z, where he decided to say, I'm not signing a music deal. Even as an upcoming artist, he believed in himself. So that is something. If you believe in yourself and that you can get through without signing a music deal, fine and good. The likes of Davido actually signed a music deal, but his father bought him out of that music deal. That is something I got to understand about that because his father understood, studied the music deal that I don't want to make my son be slave to anybody. So he decided to buy him off that music deal, and that was why Davido started off like a free agent in music business. So not be everybody be like Davido, but even at that, outside the local music deals and the rest, like Nigerian music deals or your country music deals, you got to sign up for international distribution deals, like signing up with Warner Brothers or publishing deals, signing up with Universal Music Group and a lot of others, Empire Music and the rest, which Olamide did sign, and that improved the international presence and the reputation of Olamide at the time. That is something you need to understand. No man can do it all alone. So a lot of people need to understand that these people, then they take risk on their own. So that is why they see it as business, you see it as music. What is your own take about this? I want you to put your own comment in the comment section so that we can have a take on what you feel so far.